A lot of people have been asking, why doesn't Pokemon just print less expansions throughout the year? Like, they'd be able to catch up to Prismatic Evolutions, they'd be able to catch up to Obsidian Flame, Surging Sparks. Like, right? That's what we want, right? Well, the answer is really simple as to why they choose to release as many expansions as they do, and it's because of money. Yes, you got it right. You probably guessed that already. Not only that, but usually a good business when it comes to manufacturing, you will calculate how much it benefits you to keep manufacturing something, and you won't lose profitability based on how much you're changing your printing or your manufacturing aspect. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, my name is Innovate. I have a master's in business administration. I love talking about anything business, and there's a lot of questions that I think I see that I answer really easily in my head, and I assume everybody knows that, but I think a lot of people do not come to the realization or the understanding of why we do or why businesses do certain things that they actually do, right? But now, sadly, the very first what line that I wanted to put here is something that is because of you. It might not be you specifically, but the overall consumers of Pokemon have this one thing associated to them: FOMO. I am, whether you find it awesome or lame, I do rip and ships every morning and I open packs for people. So I started opening packs when Battle Partners came out. When Battle Partners came out, bam, we were opening boxes and boxes and boxes. Now, these boxes in Japan are worth about 35 bucks if you go yourself and buy them. But at the day of expansion, at the day of release, people are paying me $135 to open them a box. You see my cat behind me. They're paying 135 bucks. Oh my god. Hopefully he doesn't make a mess. Um $135. So they're basically paying $100 over. The reason that we do that, me included, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've bought in things on release. Same thing as any video game that you purchase at release. It's because we have FOMO. Not only do we have FOMO, but we ourselves like things instantly. So we have a lot of that instant gratification. The reason that I believe rip and ships are as successful as they are is because it provides a very quick instant gratification for us to be able to find out what we would get in a Pokemon booster pack. So there's no friction to be able to purchasing that new thing that just came out, and you could be like, oh, it just came out. Oh, I can go on TikTok, whatnot, whatever website you want to go to, and you can open it like that. Within 5 minutes, you could be opening or seeing someone open your booster pack or your booster box or whatever. So we like a lot of that instant gratification. An example or something that can show you and prove to you that we love instant gratification is Amazon. So I'll use examples or things that you can think about as to why they're as successful as they are. So think about how Amazon is so ahead of, let's say, Walmart, Target. Amazon is literally just a Walmart, but it's online. Now, the reason that we would prefer to purchase from Amazon, or most people would, even if they might not want to, or they might say, oh, Amazon sucks, or it's taking away jobs, etc. However you want to say, they treat their workers bad. Even though there are those frictions in our minds of how we might perceive Amazon to be, or how degenerate we might perceive Amazon to be, we still would purchase from them because there's less friction in getting what we want. So we don't have to wait 2 weeks to get that product. We can literally get a product that we might order from Amazon the next day. And I know I'm very guilty of that too, because if I see something there and it tells me, Amazon tells me I'm going to get it in 2 weeks, I'm less likely to purchase it. So I think that also allows us to want to buy more booster packs or more booster boxes with rip and ships being available to us, but it has a lot to do with the expansions. So I'm digressing, so I have to backtrack. FOMO is the one reason that they want to keep printing this. Now, another reason for that is that you have to create scarcity. So I keep looking at this word and I realize that I wasn't really using it in my previous videos. Scarcity is being created the moment a new expansion comes out. The moment you release something, there's scarcity. When there's scarcity in a collectible, the value of it is very high, so you can now sell something. Another way that you could also think about these Pokemon cards is you can think about them as a new video game release, right? Or a new DLC just came out. And as crazy as it sounds, most video games, the most amount of time that it'll be purchased are about like the first 2 weeks. You can even think about this similar to movies. So if you ever look at the theater statistics, the most amount of money a movie will make is in the first 2 weeks. Now, the scarcity for movies would be, oh, I have to go ahead and reserve my seats. So there's scarcity in how much availability there is. But it's the same thing with scarcity in movie tickets. So if the whole theaters are all sold out, for some reason, a little part of our brain will say, oh, that movie's got to be really good because I can't get tickets for it, and so on. Same thing, you can think about it as really good restaurants, 5-star restaurants and 5-star places where you can't get a reservation no matter how badly you want it. So this scarcity, new expansion or new release creates this momentary scarcity. It's very momentary. It's not indefinite, because after 3 weeks, you can get it anywhere and you can get it for $30 cheaper. And that's the same thing that's happening right now with Battle Partners. That's the newest expansion that I'm making on this video. That Battle Partners was at $130 at release, and now Battle Partners is now at about $80 to $89, right? So it went down a lot. That's $50 difference. That's a massive, massive amount. So these two things are a large factor into what is giving Pokemon the reasoning to do this. But not only is it scarcity, it's also relevance. So you can think about it. I know some of these are very broad, and I apologize, but it's also very complicated because at the end of the day, it has a lot to do with more of like a psychological reasoning behind it as to why we end up purchasing it. Because at the end of the day, it is it's a product that you don't need. I forgot the word for it. There's a term for this. It's a product that you don't need, right? We don't need a new Pokemon card. We don't need it. We want it. Now, when you release a new Pokemon expansion, when you release a new game, you're going to think about like GTA 6. When you release a new DLC, when you release a new expansion, when you release a new character like in Marvel Rivals, when you release a new character like in League of Legends, all of a sudden, the game gains a momentary relevance as well. So there's a lot of things and a lot of factors as to why Pokemon benefits from releasing a lot of expansions back to back to back. Now, what you might have noticed, and what I'm quickly realizing as someone that is just coming into the Pokemon market, there are different factors for every area and for every region. So something about the Japanese market, this is more of a side note, but something about the Japanese market is that the Japanese market is okay with 5 cards per pack. Now, this might not be something that a lot of people think about, but I think about this all the time. So there's 5 packs or 5 cards that come in a regular Japanese booster pack. But on the other hand, for English, you get 10 on the average. That's the average. You get 10 cards. Something about any price or any quantity is that every market is different in how much they demand or how much they feel comfortable with their purchase. So in Japan or in Korea or in other countries where there's only 5 cards per pack, this is okay. But in English, we wouldn't be satisfied unless we were able to get 10 cards. And even though the valuation might not necessarily be changing a lot, there's just something that we as Americans are like, there isn't enough value in $6 if I'm only getting 5 packs. Even if it was cheaper, let's say it was $3, it was simply half and you got 5 cards. As Americans, I guess we just don't like that it has 5 cards. So there's also different factors. The reason I'm mentioning this is because of the expansions. So in the newest expansions, we'll have Heatwave Arena, and before in Japan, we're gonna have Heatwave Arena, and you're gonna have the Team Rocket set. But in Rivals Destins, I believe in English we're gonna go Rivals Destins or something like that. There's 2 reasons that I believe that expansions get put together in. I'm gonna have to scratch off a little bit. No, I think I have space. there's two reasons that I believe that we get combined sets in English. One reason could be manufacturing. So when it comes to the manufacturing, we might have less. A reason that I have this idea, this is me just spitballing at this point. This is not actual business sense. This is me spitballing at this point. This is completely opinionated going forward. But the reason I believe that we have sets combined is not only for the cards. This is one thing, but I think the quality control. So if they keep changing the sets over and over, and they try printing an absorbent amount of different sets, we don't have enough quality control in English. The reason I believe that, and a lot of people will even agree with you, is that the Japanese cards have such a higher quality than the English cards. And even then, a lot of people tend to argue that the English quality, centering, quality control, like tends to lack a lot, even though like they have a lot less expansions that they have to deal with throughout the year, but the quality control isn't even there, right? So that's why they tend to combine expansions, simply because they have to. Otherwise, their quality control is going to be really rough. Not only that, but having to print 10 cards instead of 5 cards per pack also makes it a little bit more complicated, makes it a little bit more difficult. So I don't know. I'm spitballing right here. At this point, this was kind of like an opinion base, and I'm not a fan of just giving like my takes. But I like being thoughtful as to why we're struggling with Pokemon expansions, and I like to be thoughtful as to like why Pokemon might be doing certain things or might be having certain ideas for it. I also think a lot of things, but we'll stop it there. Thank you for watching. Happy to be here. And I'm enjoying these new format videos. If you stayed watching, I appreciate it. I don't like editing my videos, and I'm realizing even if I get like 200 views on these videos, I'm having such a good time comparatively to making like a well-edited 8 minutes or 5 minutes or 8 video, and I just hate it. Like I hate the editing process of it, and I don't have fun, and so that was really important for me. Anyways, thank you for watching. I rambled a little bit when I got to this area. I apologize. Thank you for watching. Bye.